Hey everybody, this is Dark Side Elite here. I'm gonna change up a little bit. I said I was gonna do the Titans and I was gonna talk a little bit about it, but I actually rather um, I saw it and I actually really liked the trailer, and there was something I wanted to discuss a little bit more about it. I might say that during the reaction, but I really think that this is something I want to talk about because there are a few things, and it's going to be probably a pretty long video, but there are some things I want to talk about with Titans and why I like the show and some of the things I hope that they fix. And and I mean fix in a really good way because the story is good. It could be a lot better, but let's see what they have in store for us. Okay, so let's get started. I will also link this down below with the in the description so you guys can pick it up too. So let's get into this.
You burned the suit, you're not Robin anymore, so what now?
Being Hawk and Dove was dangerous for both of us. I stopped. But if you can't, we're done.
You're asking me to choose between my destiny and you.
Maybe they're the same thing.
Ooh.
I'm so tired.
End your little experiment or I will burn this place down myself.
There's ghosts in this place. Tell them what happened.
Look, I don't take orders from you anymore, man.
Get out of my way.
You're in my way.
Would you do it again? Devote all that time and trouble for someone that just wants to leave?
I would do everything exactly the same.
I'm not sure if it's the right thing to do.
I don't think you have a choice.
You ready for this, Grayson?
Yep.
What is the deal with you and Shimmer, anyway?
Well, first, her name is Shimmer. That's just annoying.
Okay, Crypto. And I guess I'm Connor.
Yeah, what the hell is this place, anyway?
This is a place where people like you can learn how to be the best version of who you are.
I hope I haven't broken this place.
Hello, Miss Coriander.
Who else do they send?
Just me. Sorry about that, Your Highness.
I'm glad you could make it!
I wonder who that is.
Slade Wilson is why we shuttered this place. Sooner or later, he'll come knocking.
He's gonna kill how many more now?
Now's the time. Be Batman.
Okay. I think the trailer was good. There are... I'm not going to knock this show. I think that this is a really good show. It has a buttload of potential with it. There are... In the last season, there were two things I wanted them that I need them to fix in this season. One, Raven. Fix her, please. The actress can do the job, but the problem is they made her so girly girl and emotional and broke. I was like, dude, what the heck? I would like for her to be more closed off. I would like for her to be like she's getting mentally, she's basically being so quiet about her emotions. Like she's trying to hide her emotions and she's doing such a great job. It's unnerving. It's very scary because the one thing about Raven is she tries her best not to be very emotional because that's the source of her powers. If she starts getting too emotional, her powers goes awry because she is the personification of pride. She is pride incarnate. She is one of the 7 sins for Trigon to be able to enter the world. Now, it could be different. That's fine. It could be easily different. But one of the greatest things a lot of people like about Raven is not because she's quote unquote emo. It's the fact that she is so stoic that you go, dude, like, she's wise beyond her years. She's very stoic, and she's badass because she knows what she could truly do with her powers. Now, I know she's grown with her powers, but the thing that I want is that I want to get past her being this emotional kid every single day of the week. She's always crying, or she's sad, or she's flipping out, or she's trying to be in a rebellious stage. It's like, no, get rid of all this. Make her become so stoic that it's like she's a completely different person. And I know it's going to throw people off, but if you tell it in a way where her powers are linked to her emotions, and if she starts getting too emotional, you saw what happened in the first season. Every time she starts going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, or she's getting way too emotional, her id comes out and starts killing everybody. She started to get more in control of that later in the season, but that needs to now be trained. And I think that the best way to do that is she becomes more sheltered. Not sheltered. She becomes more stoic. She becomes quiet. She reads more poetry. She tries to keep her emotions more at bay. And so she doesn't have to get too emotional. She can actually control her powers in a way that makes her become more and more powerful. Because in all honesty, she is more powerful than Corey Anders. And Corey Anders has the power of a supernova. She can go supernova. She can blow and destroy the planet Earth. She can eradicate the planet Earth if she wanted to. But that we don't know how powerful Corey is in this show, but she is very, very, very powerful. Now, the actor that's playing as Deathstroke, I'm very on the fence with, mainly on two reasons. One, I honestly wish that they got Manu Bennett. I really honestly wish they did. I wish they hired him, and people be like, what? So is Arrow? No, he is a completely different freaking Slade Wilson. This is a completely different Slade Wilson. You get Manu Bennett in there. You showcase that Manu is in massive levels of shape, and you put him in the show. I have nothing against S.I. Morales. I think he's a really good actor. The only problem is that he doesn't look like Slade Wilson. He looks nothing like Slade Wilson. I'm looking at a picture of him right now, and he looks not like Slade Wilson. He looks like an older Hispanic guy. And I know he is Hispanic. But Slade Wilson's not Hispanic. He's Australian. He's Australian. So I mean, now Manu Bennett is New Zealand. He's from New Zealand. He's in another way he's an Aussie. So I mean, I'm going to give it a chance. I really am. Because I think SI can do a really good job with the character. I hope they write him very badass. But from what they're showing in this trailer, there is a lot going on there. There is something way more. And I think that Bruce is doing a lot, is helping. He's going to help. And I think this is going to be the birth of him becoming Nightwing. Because he's given up the suit, and now Jason's a part of the whole situation. And you know how Jason can't beat Dick Grayson. I don't care what anybody says. Jason cannot beat Dick Grayson. If Dick Grayson wanted to end him, he could end him. Jason, at this point, before he becomes the Red Hood, he will get destroyed by freaking Dick Grayson. He will get completely annihilated. We're trying to keep it a little PG, but he will get completely annihilated by Dick Grayson. This version of Dick Grayson is way more ruthless. He holds back. Okay, he's been holding back against a lot of these criminals. He's been going for just straight kill shots. He hasn't truly tried to make a person suffer. So if Jason gets in his way, he will completely obliterate this kid. He will completely obliterate him. There's nothing that Jason could do. I mean, yeah, he could try to take him down, but Dick Grayson's a natural athlete. He's an acrobat. There is nothing that Jason Todd can do in this present form before he becomes Red Hood. There's nothing he could do against Dick Grayson. I don't care what anybody says. Robin version of Jason Todd is fodder for Robin version Dick Grayson. There is nothing he could do against that version of Dick Grayson. Now, when he becomes the Red Hood, that is a completely different story because his training went completely through the roof. He can almost go toe-to-toe with Bruce if Bruce allowed it. He can go almost toe-to-toe against Dick Grayson. It's like he got a completely different power set. So it's like that's a completely different thing. You could say that no, Dick Grayson you could say Dick Grayson is still able to beat him. That's still debatable. That's massively debatable. But Jason Todd, after he becomes the Red Hood, can give Dick Grayson a good run for his money for Dick Grayson size. Okay, I'm done with this, and beat the living daylights out of him. It's been proven he could do it. Batman, there's nothing. I mean, no. If Batman really said, no, I'm done with this, there is nothing Jason Todd can do. He will feel the full wrath of Batman, and that's nothing you can stop. I'm sorry. There's nothing you can do to stop that. Okay? He thinks that he could try to shoot at him. It's like, dude, he'll take the bullets and keep going. That's how raw Batman is. Okay? Now it's showing that now the guy that's playing as Garth, aka Aqualad, aka Tempest, it's showing that he and Donna were having a relationship. I think that happened in the comics before, for a short time. So I don't know how they're gonna build that. But it seems like in this season they're making it where Dick Grayson is trying to recreate the Titans again. He's trying to recreate the Teen Titans with the original members, but they're missing a few. So I don't know if they're gonna say that Wally was a part of it or anything like that. But we got Connor, and I have a feeling that Connor he's on the lookout for either Superman, or he's on the lookout for any type of information about who he is and where he comes from. So he's going by raw memories. So I have a feeling that he's going to have a side story that's going on in parallel with the Titans and Deathstroke. So I have a huge feeling that this is what I had a huge feeling with. I think that this season is about what happened to Grant. I think that this is a season about what happened to Grant, because that happened in the comics. The Teen Titans killed Grant. And that's what, but I have a feeling that Grant's death is what broke Slade. And Slade just went into complete hiding because of it. Now, he probably could have went after them beforehand, and Batman came in and completely trounced him and forced him to leave the city and leave in massive levels of disgrace. Or something else happened something else happened. Now, we saw that his expression when Jason Todd showed up and said, "Titans is back, baby," and his face was like, what? Are you effing kidding me? So I have a feeling that there was probably there was probably a deal made that the Titans break up, or he's gonna come after them, and he's gonna kill them all. So I have a feeling that when Jason went on TV and said Titans is back, baby, that's what set everything off. And now the other kid, Richard, Donna, Garth, and now the Hawk and Dove, they're going, oh geez, kid, what the hell did you just do? That's the reason why Dick never made this formal. He just said, nope, we're not a team. And this is the reason why, because if this came out that another superhero kid team is built up, Deathstroke's going to come out of hiding and he's going to kill him. So I have a feeling that's what's going on. Some people are saying this is the Lazarus contract. I don't think so. The Lazarus contract has to deal with Terra, and they're not dealing with Terra. They're not introducing Terra at all in this. I think that this is Deathstroke's revenge. This is from the New 52 version of Titans, when Deathstroke came out of hiding because he heard that they came back, and he said, "What the hell are you guys doing back for? You guys are all dead." So he's going right after them, and he's going to go kill them. So I think that the whole season's about the fact that they have to basically deal with Deathstroke. You have Connor on one side trying to figure out his whole backstory, and then you have what's going on with Raven and her, and the fact that she has to keep her father at bay. So I think she's going through her little training. Now we know with Corey, they're introducing a whole story about her whole planet, and the fact that she ran away even though she wasn't supposed to, and that she's supposed to come back home. So I have a feeling that that's what's going to happen. I also think that they're going to try to do a lot of story to build up to something bigger going on. Now, we don't know what it is, but we can assume that it's going to be a huge story, and that Bruce Wayne is one of the pivotal pieces to the whole situation. I don't think they're going to kill Bruce Wayne in this universe. I think that will be massively disingenuous, and then you basically now have a vacuum that's going on in Gotham, and that's not enough story to tell and then bring Dick Grayson into the mix of it. So I think that they're going to keep Bruce Wayne alive, and they're gonna basically keep it more personal. Like he's not doing anything with with Richard. He's gonna keep out of his way and let him have his own life. But he's gonna have it where he's gonna say, "Hey, I'm there if you need me." But I really hope they have this talk because I don't want Dick Grayson and that whole situation to happen when he was in his mindscape about the fact that he fought his other self, and his other self said, "You blame Bruce, you blame Tony Zuko, but no, you have to blame yourself. You did this. You destroyed Robin." So that was him telling himself, it's not anyone else's fault. This is your fault. You're the one that killed Tony Zuko. I'm sorry, you're the one that allowed Tony Zuko to die. You could have saved his life and brought him back to jail, but you wanted revenge and you left him to get revenge. You are the one that tarnished the Robin name, and now you want to toss it to the side because you think that you can't be Robin. Well, because of Batman. That Batman made you into a weapon. No, Batman, all Bruce did was he took your anger and focused it on the right thing and said, "Hey, help me take down these criminals." But what happened? When the whole thing with Tony Zuko came out, what did you do? You basically ignored everything that Bruce ever taught you, and you went after Tony Zuko yourself, which inadvertently got him killed. So it's like, I want that to come out. I hope that they do that right and get Dick Grayson to get off of this whole it's Bruce's fault type of situation, because it's not Bruce's fault. Bruce did not put the weapon in his hands. He was already angry. He was already murderous. So he would have done it regardless. He could have found Tony Zuko and killed him and then walked away from it. And it would have destroyed his soul regardless. So I don't think that I don't truly think that that they can keep pushing that narrative that Richard keeps blaming Bruce Wayne for everything. He can't do that because they've already showcased that it's not Bruce Wayne's fault. Bruce did not forge him into this murderous killing weapon. It was Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson did this to himself. He forced everything himself. So I hope that they change that, and with a good talk with Bruce Wayne, with him telling him that I know what the heck you did, and I want you to realize, how do you think I would have felt if I was confronted with a man that murdered my family, that murdered my parents in front of me, held a gun to my face? Now, we don't understand how his parents died. I don't know. Well, we know that how his parents died, but I don't know how in the situation it happened. Was it a botched robbery, or was it a hit? We don't know. So, I mean, we can only assume that it was probably the same thing like it always been. Like, basically, it was over the fact that he wanted it was a botched robbery, and his parents got murdered that way. So that's the only thing I want, and I hope that they keep it that way. Now I'm gonna go with some of the pictures we've seen. I'm gonna keep that off the internet. I'm not pushing that, but there was pictures of how Raven is gonna look in the season 2. She's gonna have the cowl over her head and everything else. The much more clear design, like it actually is going to mold to her figure and everything. And then Corey's going to have a whole new suit that's almost close to the Justice League animation type of universe. And okay, all right, I got to see it in action. I got to see it moving. So I personally don't care. But I just want their characters. I just want Raven's character to be fixed. I don't want her to be this angst teenager that's angry at the world all the time. No, get rid of that. I don't want to see that. I want to see a really great representation of Raven and her growth into becoming that badass that basically keeps her emotions at bay, because we all seen in the whole season, whenever she freaking flips her lid, she starts destroying everything. So why in the heck would I want to see her now? She has the jewel in her dome, and she's getting more and more powerful, and now she's going to keep getting more emotional. Now I understand in certain situations she's gonna tear up. I know they're going to bring in that level of drama. I understand that. But when stuff hits the fan, I don't want her to get flippity. I want her to actually get down to the gruff and condense her emotions into herself. I want her to become stoic. I want her to become the Raven that we know from the comics. Not power-wise, character-wise, because power-wise, that's easy to be done. They easily did that. But power-wise, I mean character-wise, that's a little bit harder. You can still balance it out with some balancing issues. No, with some balancing tactics, with telling a story that she's moving away from how she was in season 1 and how she's going to get closer and closer and closer to the way she's supposed to be by the end of season 2, where she could be so isolated her emotions away that it takes Gar to actually have her laugh. It takes Gar to actually have her feel passion and love. So, and I don't mean that they have to be sexual or anything. No, okay. I mean, if that's your thing, that's great. But I'm not saying that. But I'm saying is that for her to feel more human, and that it takes Garfield to make her feel that way. Yeah, she cares greatly for Corey, for Gar, and for Richard, and even for Cyborg. But the thing is that she feels that way around him because she's been around him for very long. But everybody else, she has to keep herself isolated because she doesn't know them very well. But they're growing that level of relationships between everybody else. But the thing is that when she's out in the field and her powers need to be used, I don't need her to get flippity. I want her to be able to control her powers and use it in ways that makes us go, wow, she's getting stronger, she's getting better, she's getting more tactical with her abilities, and she's able to do things more with her powers that we have never seen before. But I don't need her to get flippity every single time, or she's getting emotional because she just needs to get emotional. No, make it seem right for the story, and make it seem natural for her being a character, for her to be a real person. So those are the only things I really hope they fix. The other thing I don't want them to do is I don't want them to introduce a speedster. Do not introduce a speedster like Wally or Bart. Please, no, do not do it. And the reason why I say no is one solid reason. It's gonna overdo everything. It's going to overdo their budget. It's going to overdo too many characters. You need to start settling what they're going to do. Introducing a speedster, introducing the backstory of a speedster, it's going to take about half a season. And I don't want that. I want them to grow, and I want them to grow their base and introduce characters, and if the characters can move on to other shows, then move them on to other shows. I think Hawk and Dove, again, deserve to have their own solid show and have it linked in with Titans. But I think they're solid. I think they have a great level of relationship, and also they can easily do a lot of their like Daredevil. They don't have to have a singular villain that they have to deal with. They can make it where they don't have to make it like a singular villain. They can have it where they're just beating up criminals and having their own day-to-day problem that's going on, and situations that have them having to deal with it as a couple and also as their own superhero personalities. So, but there's one other thing. Now, we saw Jericho, and we also saw Rose Wilson. Now, I don't know how they're going to do their ages or anything like that, because Rose Wilson is the youngest out of the 3 kids. But she looks like she's older than Jericho, and that's not how it's supposed to be. But let's see how they do it. I hope they don't screw this up. Or if they're gonna do it a certain way, make it seem like it makes sense. Now the other thing is that that Rose is supposed to be their half sister, and also she is a child between Slade and I think a Vietnamese woman. So she's Asian. Great. That's exactly how she's supposed to look. She's supposed to look almost Asian with freaking silver hair like her dad. Because her dad has natural silver hair. Her dad does not have salt and pepper hair. Her dad has silver hair. And that's natural. It's not like he's old. No, it's natural hair color, which is why hers was naturally that color. But they already made her a badass at swordplay. They already gave her the missing eye, and I'm like, oh god, they should just give her 2 eyes and then have some situation that happen where later when she joins up, because she does join up with the Titans, in spite for her father. Even though her father, she went off with her father for a while, and then she basically got training by him, and then went back. And then when her father did some crap, she joined up with the Titans again. So we have to see how that transpires. The other thing is, I hope that they do this season, and also the major thing is what happened to Trigon. So I'm thinking that they're trying to set up that Deathstroke is coming, but I have a feeling that the next maybe 2 or 3 episodes, it's going to be the finishing of Trigon, and they're going to seal him away, but Raven has to basically oversee the whole thing because she has to be there to take care of it. So we have to see how that happens. Now, like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe down below. I will link this into the description so you guys can watch it too. It is from DC themselves. It's not from anybody else. Now this has over 1 million views, and it only has 38,000 likes and 856 dislikes. Now the reasoning why this is not having a huge number is because the DC streaming service is not in international. And DC had to make a concession to Netflix for them to buy the rights to Titans so they could be on Netflix, so it could be able to be out there in the world. But I personally believe that DC streaming service needs to have one more strong show. It had one through Swamp Thing, but now that got canceled, which I think it's on hiatus for right now. But some people say it's canceled. I think it's on hiatus until they can get something else up, because there's no way they're gonna put this show on cancelization. There's no way. This show was strong. It was bloody. It was perfect. It was perfect for the type of genre they were trying to do. It was horror. It was complete horror and gore. Keep it. So I think that it's on hiatus for right now until they can figure out where to put it, and also the tax litigations and everything else to get a strong budget, and hopefully James Wan can come back and they keep everybody there and they can get another season out. So Titans has to be successful. That's the main thing. Titans has to be successful. Doom Patrol was very, very successful, and everybody can't wait for season 2. So right now we're probably not gonna get the understanding what happened with season 2 of Doom Patrol until we get probably about in the middle or closer towards the end of season 2 for Titans. So let's keep with that. I mean, Titans is not a bad show. I will talk about it probably with Hawk, and we're gonna bring it up and everything else. And Hawk's gonna he's gonna have his opinions about the show, and I'll be starting on my opinions too. I think the show was very good. I just do not like what they did with Raven. Raven was very annoying. She was consistently annoying. The actress can play that part very well. I think that she can. She has that innocent face, and she has that beauty that can be used for Raven. The only problem is her character is written like a teen angst teenager that makes no sense to have all these powers, and she's that stupid. She's not stupid. I mean, no teenager would be that stupid, and I'll explain the reason why probably when we do this. So, like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe down below. Tell me what you guys think. I hope you guys like my reaction to this. I will talk a little bit more about this maybe in a later video. I'm gonna try to get this out, plus with my review on the Joker, on the Joker trailer, which I think is mind blowing. I want to get one more out for today and call it. I want to do one for It Chapter 2. I saw it already one time, but I think the good reaction of, oh my God, this movie's gonna break box offices. This is gonna be probably one of the biggest horror movies of this year, and it's probably gonna be one of the best sequels to a story that we're ever gonna get. So, like I said, I hope you guys have a great one. All right, bye.